Hello everyone, it's Trigger here of course again, and today, with this tutorial bite, I'm going to be showing you the oil refinery. The oil refinery is definitely a more complicated device that requires a little bit of setup work to get to it. But, to start, we're just going to go ahead and place it down. When you place the oil refinery down, you open up the UI, and you can click the device information here to actually change the recipe that you want to use. There's a few recipes here, the most basic being the basic oil cracking, which will just take oil and output petroleum. This is a quick and easy way to get petroleum, but it is definitely not the most efficient. If you were to look at oil cracking and you were to take 10 oil, you could get half of that petroleum and then get 10 light oil and 10 heavy oil. If you were to look at the rest recipes, you would figure out that light oil can be converted to a 1-to-1, so 10 light oil is really 10 petroleum. So you already get the 20 there, but then you end up with 10 heavy oil. If you were to use heavy oil cracking with this, you would get an additional 20 light oil. In total, if you were to use this recipe, you would end up with 40 petroleum, which is double the amount of oil that basic oil cracking gives. So if you feel like you want to set up all of this work, you should do that and get quite a bit more oil from your oil field. There's other recipes in here too, like the heavy oil cracking, like I mentioned, the light oil cracking, and the lubricant, sulfuric acid, and coal liquefaction. It's a funny one to say. So yeah, these recipes all do something different. They tell you what they require. So let's say you need to do lubricant. You would need two oil refineries here. You would need to have one that would crack down oil using the heavy cracking recipe, which would give you 10 heavy oil, and then you would need to draw a piping connection to the second one, which would then convert it into lubricant. So let's go ahead and do just that. So this one is going to be on the oil cracking recipe. And we're going to set down another oil refinery directly in front of this, and we're going to set this one to lubricant. Now that we have that, we're going to go and grab some piping materials and a pump. In my other tutorial bites, you might have noticed that there was a resource zone here, and this one is filled with oil. So we have 7.4K left. So let's go ahead and draw a piping connection from this one to here. And so now we'll have oil coming into it, and you'll see it's getting cracked down into the three types of oils. Next, we're going to go ahead and need to move the oil from this one into here. So a really simple way to do that is just to draw a pipe connection next in front of it, go up, and then have another polished andesite right here. Now the heavy oil will be moved into here, and now we have lubricant. What is lubricant used for? Well, lubricant is used for deep drill mining. Deep drill mining is a really lucrative way to get lots and lots of resources. So you're going to need a lot of lubricant, so you're probably going to have to do this at some point if you plan on doing deep drill mining. That's how you do that part. Let's check out some of the other recipes here. Let's just say you wanted to produce oil and you didn't have an oil field. So let's say we got rid of this and we wanted to make oil. So I put this down and I go in and click the recipe and select coal liquefaction. If I select that, and let's just give ourselves some water to work with here. And now if we put down a pump and we go ahead and put down a connection point. Oops, put that there. This might start to look a little crazy, but we have our liquid going here, here, and then down here, and it sees that this needs water. So we have the water, we have oil that should be produced, but we need to put coal or charcoal inside of this in order for it to produce. So let's go ahead and throw some coal in there. So once you have that in there, you're going to see we're now producing a lot of oil. This is a really good way to make oil from your coal. It is possible to deep drill for coal as well in swamp biomes. It's pretty popular. You can find it most commonly there. Alternatively, you can run a coal farm using trees, and you can convert all of that wood into charcoal, which you could then produce oil from. So you don't have to be dependent on an oil field, but an oil field is a much quicker way to do it. Not to say that it's always the most accessible, though. So, anyways, there's some other recipes in here you can find, too, with the oil refinery, but that is the quick and dirty tutorial for this. So, if you need to get any of the liquids out of this device, as I showed with the lubricant recipe, all you have to do is draw a connection out like this, and then put this down, and then any device that requires it, you would just put next to it. So in this case, if it was an oil refinery, and I wanted it to do lubricant like earlier, I would just select that, and now it will start producing lubricant. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the tutorial bite. If you need more help, please just leave it comment below, and I will get to you and help you out with that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.